The 1972 D. Eisenhower dollar, minted in Denver, is a significant representation of mid-20th century American coinage, embodying historical, political, and numismatic value. Issued by the United States Mint as part of the Eisenhower Dollar Series, 1971 to 1978, this coin honors General Dwight D. Eisenhower, the supreme commander of Allied forces in Europe during World War II and the 34th President of the United States from 1953 to 1961. The Eisenhower Dollar Series was the first U.S. dollar coin to feature a former president who had served in both military and executive capacities. The obverse of 1972, D dollar, displays a left-facing portrait of Eisenhower, designed by Frank Gasparo, the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint at the time. Surrounding the portrait are inscriptions that reflect the United States' identity and values. Liberty arches along the top rim. In God We Trust, in smaller lettering to the left beneath the chin, and the year 1972, centered at the bottom. Just beneath the neck truncation is the D mint mark, indicating that the coin was struck at the Denver Mint. Above Eisenhower's head, inscribed along the top edge, is the enduring motto of American unity, E pluribus unum, Latin for out of many one. On the reverse side of the coin, also designed by Gasparo, the imagery honors the Apollo 11 moon landing of 1969, a nod to the scientific advancement of the era. It features a majestic bald eagle descending onto the surface of the moon with an olive branch in its talons, symbolizing peace through strength. The lunar surface is depicted beneath the eagle, with the Earth visible in the background. This design was inspired by the Apollo 11 mission insignia, signifying not only America's space achievements, but also the unity and peace the nation aspired to project globally during the Cold War period. The inscriptions United States of America arc above the eagle, while E pluribus unum reappears in smaller font just beneath it. At the bottom of the reverse, the denomination $1 is boldly stated. The edge of the coin is reeded, a typical feature for higher denomination U.S. coins. The Eisenhower dollar was produced in two different compositions, a copper-nickel-clad version for general circulation and a 40% silver-clad version sold to collectors in special uncirculated and proof sets. The 1972 D. Eisenhower dollar was struck in copper-nickel-clad and released into general circulation, meaning it contains a pure copper core sandwich between two layers of copper-nickel alloy, 75% copper, 25% nickel. It weighs approximately 22.68 grams, has a diameter of 38.1 millimeters, 1.5 inches, and a thickness of 2.58 millimeters, making it the largest non-silver circulating dollar coin of its time. These large, heavy coins were often used in casinos and vending machines, particularly in the western United States, and were not as popular in day-to-day transactions due to their size. From a numismatic standpoint, the 1972 D. Eisenhower dollar is not considered particularly rare, as the Denver Mint produced over 92 million examples that year. However, quality varies significantly among circulated pieces, and high-grade uncirculated specimens, MS-65 and above, are sought after by collectors. In addition, the 1972 Eisenhower dollar has three notable varieties for the Philadelphia Mint version, but the Denver coins are not subject to these variations, making them less complex to categorize. Nonetheless, well-struck examples with minimal contact marks are still valued by collectors for completing full sets or type collections. The Eisenhower series bridges the gap between traditional silver dollars of the early 20th century and the smaller Susan B., Anthony, and Sacagawea dollars that would follow in the late 1970s and 2000s, respectively. Historically, this coin represents the tail end of an era in American coinage, as it was one of the last large-sized dollar coins intended for circulation. Its commemorative obverse and reverse designs serve not only as a tribute to Eisenhower's dual legacy as a military leader and statesman, but also to the United States' achievements in space exploration, a defining characteristic of the Cold War era. The 1972 D. Eisenhower dollar captures a period when American pride, unity, and technological ambition were prominently reflected in its currency, making this coin a compelling artifact for numismatists, historians, and patriots alike. Its significance lies not only in its physical characteristics, but also in the narrative it tells about the America of the early 1970s, a nation looking forward to the future while honoring the foundational figures and achievements of its past next top. The 1977 D. Eisenhower dollar is a noteworthy representation of a transitional era in United States numismatic and political history, embodying the spirit of the Cold War, the space race, and the end of the era of large-size U.S. dollar coins. Minted at the Denver Mint as indicated by the D mint mark, this coin is part of the Eisenhower Dollar series issued between 1971 and 1978, created to honor President Dwight D. Eisenhower, the Supreme Commander of Allied forces in Europe during World War II and later the 34th President of the United States. The obverse of the coin presents a strong, stoic profile of Eisenhower facing left, a design by Frank Gasparo, chief engraver of the U.S. Mint, who sought to capture both the military and presidential dignity of the man. Above Eisenhower's head is the word liberty, a central tenet of American identity, while in God we trust appears to the left of the neck, upholding a tradition of religious faith on American coinage that dates back to the 19th century. The date 1977 lies centered at the bottom, flanked by the small D mint mark just above the final digit, which signifies the Denver Mint, located in Colorado, one of the major coin production facilities in the country. The reverse of the coin is equally symbolic and iconic. It features an adaptation of the Apollo 11 mission insignia, a proud tribute to American ingenuity and space exploration during the 1960s, made more poignant by the fact that Eisenhower, during his presidency, was instrumental in founding NASA. The reverse depicts a bald eagle descending upon the surface of the moon, its wings spread wide in a dramatic pose, clutching an olive branch in its talons, symbolizing peace. Behind the eagle, the surface of the moon is rendered in textured relief, and in the background, planet Earth can be seen. This imagery is surrounded by the inscriptions United States of America and the Latin motto E Pluribus Unum, which translates to out of many one, a reference to the unity of the diverse American states into a single federal republic. The denomination, $1, is boldly placed at the bottom, emphasizing the coin's face value. The 1977 D. Eisenhower dollar is composed of copper-nickel clad, rather than silver, as silver was largely removed from circulating coinage after 1964 due to rising metal costs and hoarding. The coin consists of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a core of pure copper, giving it a total weight of 22.68 grams and a large diameter of 38.1 millimeters, making it the last of the truly large-sized circulating U.S. dollar coins. The reeded edge and wide surface area give the coin a distinctive appearance and feel compared to modern U.S. coinage. In total, over 32.98 million 1977 D. Eisenhower dollars were minted, making it a relatively common issue in circulated condition. However, its large size and historical context make it popular among collectors. High-grade uncirculated examples, especially those certified as MS-65 or higher by grading services, such as PCGS or NGC, are far less common and can command premiums. Collectors value the coin not only for its physical characteristics, but also for its representation of a powerful period in U.S. history, one marked by Cold War tensions, post-Vietnam uncertainty, and America's growing role as a spacefaring nation. Despite its commemorative qualities, the Eisenhower dollar was not widely used in everyday commerce due to its size and weight. It found greater popularity in casinos, particularly in Las Vegas, where it was often used in slot machines and among collectors. The lack of widespread public adoption eventually led to its replacement in 1979 by the smaller Susan B. Anthony dollar, which aimed to be more convenient for circulation, but ultimately failed to gain traction due to its similarity in size and color to the quarter. Today, the 1977 D. Eisenhower dollar stands as a tangible piece of Americana, a coin that reflects military leadership, presidential legacy, space triumphs, and the evolving needs of U.S. currency. Whether held for nostalgic value, historic interest, or as part of a complete Eisenhower dollar set, this coin continues to capture the attention of numismatists and history enthusiasts alike. Its blend of artistry, symbolism, and national pride ensures that the 1977 D. Eisenhower dollar remains an enduring artifact of the American numismatic story next top. The 1978 D. D. Eisenhower Dollar represents both the final year of the Eisenhower Dollar series and a significant chapter in the numismatic history of the United States. This coin, struck in Denver, as denoted by the D mint mark beneath President Dwight D. Eisenhower's neck on the obverse, encapsulated a period in American coinage when the nation was transitioning from large-format dollar coins to more compact, practical designs. Measuring 38.1 millimeters in diameter and composed of copper-nickel-clad alloy over a pure copper core, the 1978 D-Dollar coin was never released in silver for general circulation. Instead, it retained a durable yet economical construction suitable for mass usage, although its large size and weight limited its practical circulation use, especially in everyday transactions. The obverse of the coin, designed by U.S. Mint chief engraver Frank Gasparo, features a bold, forward-facing profile of President Eisenhower, the 34th President of the United States and Supreme Allied Commander during World War II. Above his head, the word liberty is boldly inscribed, reflecting one of the core values of the American Republic. Beneath his chin, slightly to the left, is a national motto, "In God We Trust," a phrase rooted in the American Civil War era and made official on U.S. coins by law in 1956. Below Eisenhower's profile is the year of mintage, 1978, marking the final production year for this series. To its right is a small but significant D mint mark, indicating production at the Denver Mint, which struck over 33 million of these coins in 1978, making them relatively common in the Eisenhower series. The reverse of the coin is a stunning tribute to American ingenuity and space exploration. It features an artistic rendition of the Apollo 11 mission insignia, also designed by Gasparo, commemorating the first successful manned moon landing in 1969. In this scene, a majestic bald eagle descends to the moon's surface with its wings outstretched, an olive branch of peace in its talons, symbolizing the peaceful intentions of American space endeavors. Behind the eagle is the moon's cratered surface, rendered with modest detail to emphasize the extraterrestrial setting. 13 stars encircle the eagle, representing the original 13 colonies of the United States. Above the eagle appears the bold inscription, United States of America, and below it, the Latin motto, E pluribus unum, meaning out of many one, a phrase adopted in 1776 to signify the unity of the diverse states into one nation. At the bottom center is the denomination $1, written in large capital letters. The 1978 D. Eisenhower dollar carries significant historical weight, not only because it was the last of its kind before the U.S. Mint introduced the smaller Susan B. Anthony dollar in 1979, but also because it embodies the themes of leadership, unity, and technological triumph that defined the post-war United States. Eisenhower, whose image graces the coin, symbolizes both military success and post-war American stability, having led the Allied forces to victory in Europe and served 2 terms as a popular Republican president from 1953 to 1961. The inclusion of the Apollo 11 insignia connects the coin to America's crowning achievement during the Cold War era, the moon landing, which was a cultural and scientific landmark that showcased U.S. dominance in the space race. From a numismatic standpoint, the 1978 D-Dollar is widely available in circulated and uncirculated conditions due to its large mintage. It is not considered rare, but examples in mint state grades, MS65 and higher, or those with striking errors, such as off-center strikes, die cracks, or double dies, can attract collectors and command premium prices. Many uncirculated coins were sold directly to collectors by the U.S. Mint or obtained through rolls and bags, especially because the Eisenhower series had gained a solid following by the late 1970s. While the coin was not minted in silver for circulation in 1978, special 40% silver versions were produced for collectors in previous years from 1971 to 1976, especially as part of bicentennial sets. These silver issues, however, were phased out by the time the 1978 series was released. In terms of everyday circulation, the Eisenhower dollar struggled due to its bulky size, which made it inconvenient compared to paper currency or smaller coins. As a result, while it was intended to replace a paper dollar, it never fully caught on with the public. Nonetheless, it found consistent use in casino slot machines, military exchanges, and postal vending machines throughout the 1970s and early 1980s. Its decline in circulation led the U.S. Mint to rethink the dollar coin size and usability, ultimately resulting in the creation of the smaller Susan B. Anthony dollar, a move that further transformed American coinage. In summary, the 1978 D. Eisenhower dollar is more than just a piece of metal. It is a bold artistic and political statement from a nation at the height of its post-war confidence. It reflects the intersection of American leadership, space exploration, and monetary history, serving as a capstone of a coin series that, despite its limited utility in daily commerce, remains beloved by collectors and historians alike. As the final issue of the Eisenhower dollar line, the 1978 D stands as a lasting tribute to a complex decade in American history, full of triumphs, transitions, and enduring symbols of national pride.